Hey y'all, it's your girl K Divine. This message is not for everybody. This message is very specific. This message is specifically for the neurodivergent girls. And I'm specifically talking to the neurodivergent girls because I am a neurodivergent girly. But this message is specifically for you. They don't want to really be with you. They like the idea of being with you. You have to understand that all of these people that you have dated in the past, yes, you are attractive. You're beautiful. Very much so. You are intelligent, and they know that you're smart. But because of like their own ego, like they only cared about that surface stuff. Like, you make them look good, like, because you're beautiful and you're smart. That's the type of girl that they want on their arm, right? That's what they want. They want somebody that got they stuff together, and most likely you're probably late in life diagnosed as well. And if you're not, it's okay. You still probably went through some of this stuff too. But specifically for the late in life diagnosed girlies, especially if you're an ADHD, or if you found out that you're both ADHD and autistic later on in life, or you're considering that you might be both right now, you might have one diagnosis and think you might have the other as well, this is for you. They want the pretty smart girl on their arm because it helps boost their appearance to other women, okay? But when it came down to your actual disability and you needing the support, because we know it's not pretty all the time behind the scenes. We struggle a lot, okay? We struggle a lot with certain things. Certain things come easy to us, certain things. Other times, completely difficult. Just so some of those daily tasks. I know some of y'all may struggle with some of your daily tasks. Taking care of yourself in certain ways. And mostly that's because you don't really even have the time or capacity to actually really make a real schedule routine that makes sense for you. And if you're ADHD, routines they don't make sense. They don't stick for long, and it's not your fault. It's the way your brain works. And if you're ADHD, you have a routine, but you don't do it at the same time every day. It's a mess. It's a mess, but we figure it out. We get through it, okay? But they like the idea of being with you. They liked what you could do for them. They like the image that you gave them, because having a pretty smart girl on their arm is a boost for them. And that also, to like other women, when other women see you and they see how beautiful you are, and then he was probably narcissistic. At the very minimum, he was toxic. Whoever this ex of yours is, or multiple exes, for me is multiple, all of them, they would triangulate you with those other women and talk about how beautiful and smart you were, and then those other women want to try to compete for your spot or whatever. And he had no problem, 555 on this clock over here, he had no problem cheating on you and making you feel less than and not calling you. And you more than likely struggle with RSD, rejection sensitivity dysphoria, and basically you just take rejection a lot harder than most people. Like, even just the slightest, like even some criticism that isn't meant to hurt your feelings can sting deeply for you. And I want you to understand that there's nothing wrong with you. You are okay. You're beautiful. There's nothing wrong with you. But you're gonna have to get to a point where you feel way more confident in yourself. That's going to help with that. RSD may never really go away, because it does sting, especially when you really like people. It's hard for us to get close to people because we're so used to people turning on us and starting to act weird, or they can't handle us when when our disabilities really start to show, when our social batteries are drained and we don't feel like going out in public, or when we shut down and we can't talk and we can't get those words out that we need to say to people. Sometimes we freeze. It's just because like our, we'll be in task paralysis. We'll have a ton of stuff to do and we just can't seem to get up. And a lot of people who don't want to actually do the research and actually learn about how your brain works, they're just going to call you lazy. They're going to say that something's wrong with you. They're going to make you feel like you're less than, like you're nothing, like you're a nobody. And I'm here to tell you that that's not true. That's not true. You are disabled. Sometimes you have to tell especially as a late in life diagnosed person, you are going to have to tell yourself out loud, I am disabled. I have disabilities that hinder my day-to-day life. That does not make me less, but I do have my own struggles. The people who really truly care about you, they will do the research with you. They will learn about you. They will understand you, and they will help you work through your issues. They are not going to put you down. They're not going to make you feel like something's wrong with you. They're not going to do any of those things because you don't deserve that. You deserve to be around people who love you. You deserve to be around people who cherish you. You deserve to be around people who are going to actually understand how your brain operates. Because honestly, when you're around people or you're in environments that are positive and supportive, your creativity and the things that you're good at, like your niches and all of that, like those things will be able to blossom a lot better. The reason why you probably feel kind of like depressed a lot, or you might feel like life is kind of hopeless at times, is partially because you are searching for validation in these people who have already pretty much made it clear to you that they don't care about your disabilities. Because these are the same people who will say things like, well, you're just using that as an excuse. And it's like, how am I using my disability as an excuse? It's a part of who I am. Now, your disabilities are not your whole personality. No, of course not. But they do hinder the way that you communicate with people. At times it does. Like, cause I mean, even for me, like if I haven't slept very well, or I got a lot of emotional things going on and I'm trying to talk to somebody, I'll have like complete brain freezes. Like I can't string words together. And the way that I'm talking to y'all right now, like, cause if you watched any of my other videos, like I don't script any of these. Like I get a download or I get a wave of like a feeling and then I just go. So it's like, it's not a matter of me not being able to communicate, but sometimes I have struggles with being able to communicate properly. Or you probably, because you've had to suppress your needs for so long, you probably don't really actually know what you need. And that is okay. That is okay. It's going to take some time to figure out what it is that you need from people. But what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to separate yourself from some of your friends and your family for a while in order for you to figure out what it is that you need and how it is that you're going to be able to be a part of these groups. And unfortunately, you're going to lose some of these people because in that process, you're going to have to learn how to grow some boundaries. And you're going to have to learn how to say no. I know that saying no is very hard for you. You're so used to saying yes because you always feel like, for most of you, the only way that you've ever really been able to connect with people is when you felt like you were being needed for something. That's why, people have always used you for your intellect. You probably have amazing ideas, baby. Whoever I'm speaking to, you probably have great ideas in whatever talents and whatever area that you're good in. You've always had amazing ideas, and people will use you for those ideas so they can further themselves, and they'll leave you in the dust and not give you any credit for them. But you continue to say yes because you're hoping that eventually they'll give you that recognition that you so deserve. But I'm here to tell you that the people who consistently and constantly are taking your ideas from you, consistently using you for, you know, your money, your time, sex, or whatever the case may be, those people don't care about you. They don't love you. You need to get away from them. Okay? You can being neurodivergent is not a bad thing. Unfortunately, we live in a society that tries to make it seem as if you don't think a certain way, if you don't do things a certain way, that makes you somehow wrong, but you're not. Okay? You are not wrong. You're just different. You're always going to be different. You're not going to be able to fit into those molds. And now that you know that you're not going to be able to fit into those molds, you might as well go the opposite way completely. Trust me, it's much better over here. It does get lonely at times, I will be honest. It does get lonely because but honestly, I would much rather be alone than be around a whole bunch of people who don't actually like me. Just to say that I got people. Because honestly, you don't. Because the minute that something bad happens, you know, the minute that, you know, you lose your job, or, you know, you have a baby, or, you know, something, a big major event, whether it's good or bad in your life, like, people will start to fall off anyways. And then you're gonna be alone eventually, because all those people are not meant to stay in your life. Especially once you come into the understanding of who you are. Like, your neurodivergence is a part of you. It's how your brain functions. And no, it's not perfect, but neither are they. Them folks that have made fun of you all of your life for your autistic traits, for your ADHD traits, them people not perfect. And low-key, a lot of those people are actually really jealous of you, because they see how talented you are. They see that your brain works differently, so you think differently than everybody else. You probably were always that person who did things differently. People say, that's not gonna work that way. And then every single time you prove, like, seems like it worked out for me. And a lot of those people, especially women, they really don't like it when there's another woman around that's different than them, and she's beautiful. And then on top of you being autistic, because you're probably just like, you just chilling, you're not even thinking about that stuff, but they see you and they just, they hate you. They hate you. They don't even know that you're autistic, but that's part of the reason why they hate you. They hate you because you're innovative, and that you're different, and that you're not out here trying to be like everybody else. You probably dress a certain way too. You probably dress, like, for me, y'all see me, I dress for comfortability most of the time. And it's like, you probably still look good. You probably still look good no matter what you put on. And they hate that shit. They hate that shit so much, y'all. I swear to God. I swear they hate it. And it's just, you gotta also understand too, like, and then there's the men that you date. And you know, this isn't even just about men. Like, if you're in the LGBTQIA plus community, even those, you know, people, I'll just say people, because those people are some of those people are unsafe for you as well. What we're trying to get to is finding safe people to be with. Okay? Like, these people have to be understanding of who you are, but you have to be comfortable with you first. You have to be comfortable with saying, like, this is a hard no for me. You know, I will not be able to deal with that. I cannot tolerate this in my relationships. You're gonna have to be that person. You're gonna have to have really, really strong boundaries, because your mental safety is at risk, because it's already difficult enough being neurodivergent in a world that makes it difficult. Like, this world isn't built for us. The way that, you know, the systems are built, you know, the idea of having 9-to-5 jobs, most of y'all are going to have to try to find other means to make money for yourselves, because 9-to-5 jobs are not built for you. Mentally, emotionally, physically, it's killing you. A lot of y'all. That's why you're drained all the time. Those people are draining your energy, especially being you're sensitive to energies. You're sensitive to other people. And it's like you got a lot of people in those 9 to 5 jobs that are miserable and depressed, and you wonder why when you go home it feels so heavy. It's because you're picking up all of that. You're picking up all of those people's emotions and all of those people's feelings, and because you want to help people, sometimes you carry that stuff with you and you hold on to it. And it feels so much better to let those people have their own thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Like, whatever you're good at, try to find a way to profit off of it. You know, try to, go on YouTube, whatever you're good at. Like, I mean, literally, you can do it. It might take some time. It might be a little slow. You might be tired. It's not going to be easy. I know it's not going to be easy, but you can do it. You don't have to try to, stay in this rat race with everybody else. Like, let the neurotypicals have that shit. Let them do that. You go be creative, because that's what you were built to do. Our brains were not meant to be regular at all. We are not regular. And that's just a fact. Your brain is not. That's why it's called neurodivergent. It's divergent from everything that is typical, right? And like I said, you're beautiful too. So it's like people want to be around you, even though you probably don't want to be around people like that. People gonna stare at you and try to figure you out, especially the more comfortable you get with yourself. They're definitely going to stare at you and they're gonna be like, there's something different about that person. And it's like, yeah, it's because I know who I am. I know who I am, and I'm not ashamed. So don't be ashamed. I know you probably been through a lot. You probably made a lot of mistakes, and especially when you're coming into the understanding of your neurodivergence, and it's a heavy pill to swallow, because it's like you realize all the trauma that you went through as a child, as a teenager, like even in your adult life so far. Like, there's a lot of trauma that's associated with your neurodivergence because you didn't get the support that you needed when you needed it. And that's why I said that it might get lonely for a while, because some of the people that you thought were your friends, they really not your friends. And they really don't like you. And they're not interested in really building a relationship. Like, once you're no longer available to be like their emotional dumping ground, they're not gonna want to be around you. Once you come into the realization of your neurodivergence, you'll also see that a lot of your relationships are fake. Like, fake. Like I said, a lot of these people are using you as an emotional dumping ground, because most of you guys are like empaths. You're highly empathic, and those people know that. And that's why you'll have those friends that will call you all the time complaining about, oh, that this guy did this to me. And it's the same story over and over and over again. And you're just like, okay, sis, yeah. Or you have like the guy friends that are like, I wish I had a girl just like you. And it's just like, so what's wrong with me? But they don't want you. But they want someone just like you, though. The weird stuff that people will say to you. Weird stuff. I just want to let you know, though, that you are beautiful. You are loved. And I believe in you to go and be who you're supposed to be. Especially with the way that we're watching the world crumble as we speak. Like, it's not even worth trying to explain it to the neurotypicals. Just leave them to figure it out on their own. Because, in a few months from now, while you're over here getting into your own thing and, really making some real strides and some real steps, they gonna be looking at you like, why didn't you wait for me? We ain't waiting for them no more. We starting our own paths, okay? But that was for my neurodivergent girlies. Like, I love y'all. Y'all my tribe. And especially my neurodivergent women of color, because we don't get diagnosed very often. Like, we don't get those diagnoses the way that we're supposed to, because most people don't want to believe that we possibly could be. autistic, have ADHD. They just want to believe that we have attitudes and that we're bitches or that we're dumb. And we're not. It's just like I'm bubbly because the sun is out. I'm happy because I was watching the birds this morning and it was beautiful. I saw a bunny. And it's like, I just be happy about little stuff. And they hate that. They're just like, oh, this one's really stupid. It's like, no, I just see the magic in the world and I embrace it and I love it. So, you know, let them think that you're stupid and then outsmart them with your success because you deserve it. But that was my message for y'all. I love y'all. It's your girl K Divine. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.